7, 6. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yo, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Blue Lounge. It's been a minute. How are you guys doing? I hope you're all doing well. I hope everyone is having a blessed week and a blessed weekend coming up with Chelsea smashing Brighton, and everything will go back to normal as it hasn't been recently. But yeah, big up to everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Please smash the like button as you're coming in onto the stream. We have got 10 members, 10 new members. Hopefully we see them in the chat today. But yeah, big up to everyone. Welcome. Today we have the returning world champions on the panel, and we also have a new member for the panel today. Let's welcome Mr. Lewis. Lewis, welcome to the show. How you doing, Baba?
Awesome, man. Thank you very much for having me on. I'm excited to hang out with you guys today for the first time. Excited to talk to everybody at this pretty stressful time for us right now. So looking forward to it.
It is a little bit stressful, to be fair. It could be a lot better. It could be a lot worse, I think. I hope not. But yeah, looking forward to seeing what Lewis has in regards to perspective and opinion on all things Chelsea. We have the returning Nee Zion from Blue Clouds Media, who I had the pleasure of being on his stream earlier today. Big up to you, Nee. How are you? How you doing? You're on mute, Nee. You're on mute.
I'm doing very good. Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Big up to you. Big up to you, Nee. No, that's all good. That's all good. Big up to you, Nee. And next to Nee, we have Kai from Behind the Dugouts. Kai, how are you? How you doing?
Doing good, mate. Doing good. Thanks for having me on again. Let's hopefully we get these 3 points this weekend, eh?
Hopefully. As I say, inshallah, we'll get it. On top of Kai, we have got the man himself, Matt from the Stamford Sink. Big up to you, brother. How are you? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. I'll feel better if we get some points in the bag tomorrow, but it is what it is.
Do you know what? I feel better if you reach 1,000 subscribers, man. It's just taking a minute. It's taking a minute, man.
Yeah, it is. So
Guys,
close, man.
show some love to the Stamford Sink. My man is so close to getting to 1,000 subscribers. He is on the way. He has been smashing it with the content, great content on a daily basis, sometimes even more than one piece of content. So show some love and make sure you subscribe to his channel. Big up to everyone in the chat. We have Gabrielle, we have Omar, we have Daniel Knight, and everyone who is not commenting, who is shy. Big up to you. Look at this, man. I love this. Gabrielle with his membership, and Blue Clouds Media with their membership. Daniel Knight, brother, you missed out. But I will be giving out some more memberships in due course. Not saying when, but just keep tuned into the streams, and memberships will be given out. Big up to everyone. Please smash that like button as you're coming in. Today we're going to be talking about Enzo Maresca. Is he in a bit of a pickle? Is Chelsea currently in a crisis? 5 games in, people are talking about Chelsea being in a crisis. Are we in a crisis? And what do we expect to see happen tomorrow against Brighton at the Bridge? These are the things we're going to be discussing on tonight's show. Make sure you guys grab a snack, grab a drink, relax, chill. If you're watching video, if you're listening on audio, enjoy the show. All right, so the first question that I'm going to pose is Maresca. We saw the press conference today. We saw the way he's addressing some of these questions. We know that the team is currently having a bit of an injury crisis. But is Maresca in a bit of a pickle? I'll open this question to the panel. Whoever wants to start, go right ahead.
I think I'll say yeah in some aspect of his of the play. Defensive work, he is the team is struggling a bit, and we all saw it. We knew we were gonna get there if a few of these players go down, which is Levi Kouwa. A few of them were all crying for a top notch centre back, and we did not get it. I know Enzo Maresca was asking for a few players in different department. Goalkeeping department, I don't think he was really into it. Some could say he was he was asking for a Mark Manion or whatever from AC Milan. But then the same man came out and said he's comfortable he's comfortable with Robert Sanchez. He also defended him. I think if you look at the team itself, midfield we should be good. Attacking also we should be okay. Where the problem lies is defensively. We are not good because none of these players that we have now can really sing the kind of song that Enzo Maresca want them to sing. Singing the song, they're trying to sing it, but always it looks very awful when you're listening to it on the pitch. So I think that is the dilemma. That is where the problem is. Can we get it fixed now? Not now. I don't think it is. Even in the transfer window, the only one I can think that they can bring in, unless they're king of loopholes, they really want to reinforce based on how things are going. They want to dig into the market and go for another person. But besides that, the only one we can call back is from I think it will be Sarr from Strasbourg.
So am I right in saying that you think this is a issue because of the players in the squad, or is this an issue because Maresca feels there is pressure on him? He didn't get what he wanted in the transfer market, and this is having a ripple effect in regards to the squad, in regards to the team. Because one thing we were all agreeing on is last season, Enzo Maresca seemed to be able to get the players to play for each other, play for the badge. We saw the players motivated. We saw the players doing things in sync, and we even saw that towards the end of the season, especially in the Club World Cup. The performances we put in, and specifically the one against Paris Saint-Germain, we could not have won that game if the players weren't playing for each other. Yeah. So, has he lost that respect, that chemistry that he has built within the squad? Is that what you're saying? Do you think he's lost that?
No, I'm thinking that he have lost a little bit of confidence from those that are supposed to provide the kind of players that he wanted. Because Enzo Maresca used last season to analyze the team, analyze the whole squad, to see who are capable of playing in his kind of football. And we realized that during the transfer window, he requested for a certain kind of center back that can really help Levi Kouwa out. Because if you look at all that we have, none of them are ball-playing central defenders. You get what I mean? Someone that carries the ball, someone that have the eye to make those passes to the DMs and the attacking midfielders. We don't have them right now. All of them are making mistakes. Levi Kouwa grew into it, so he was requesting for one that can really partner with Levi Kouwa to get his kind of football going very well. And I feel like he didn't get that. And we all see that has been a big problem for him now.
All right. Anybody else wants to jump in on this?
Yeah, man. I think it's a bit of... I'm sort of struggling with the narrative at the moment about 1 minute we're blaming the owners and the sporting directors, and then the next minute we're blaming Maresca. So, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the sporting directors are doing an amazing job at the moment. Clearly, we could have done thickening out some other areas of the squad. Maresca only said he wanted a centre-back after Levi Colwill got injured. We kind of had that centre-back, and it was reasonable to assume that Tosin would have been in a reasonable backup for the time. We all know we've had the UEFA problems, right? We're all talking about that all the time. So, maybe we couldn't just go out and spend at that point. The other thing, where it's like, I can't blame the directors for the Man United game, for instance, because Enzo Maresca was the one, he had the tools available to him to turn that game into a win at halftime. Yep. And it was Enzo Maresca who made the decision to take Estefan Willian off instead of an injured Cole Palmer. It was Maresca's decision to load the team with centre-backs and midfielders and only have a very tired João Pedro playing up front in that Man United game. So when you've got Garnacho and Gittins on the bench and other people on the bench, when you want to, try and turn this into a win, I can't blame the sporting directors for not buying us a centre-back when what we needed in that particular moment was an attacking outlet, and we had attacking outlets available to us, and it was Maresca that made the decision there. So I think we're spending too much time trying to blame one source for all of these problems. I think that the sporting directors will always go by the business of it, right? And when we lost Levi Colwill, maybe we weren't in a position to go out and buy another centre-back. Do you know what I mean? We don't know that. We haven't been told that. So we can blame the sporting directors all we want for saying Maresca wanted a centre-back and didn't get him. We don't even know if that was possible. And at the same time, Maresca, when he's...
Sorry to interrupt you, but what I'm trying to get at here is this. Is Maresca right now under pressure? Is he feeling that his job is at risk? Is he feeling, and so two elements. Is his job at risk? Element number one. And element number two, which for me is the most important one, is he starting to lose the dressing room? And these are both big statements to be making at this point in the season. Remember, where we've only played 5, and tomorrow we're playing the 6th game. So the reason why I'm asking this question is not because I am implying these to be the case, but these are questions that have been spoken about by the fans, and elements of this has been, seen in social media and also some of it in mainstream media. And I'm going to name one, Matt Law. Okay, he has implied that this is the case. As a Chelsea fan, as a Chelsea content creator, do you think there is any element of truth to any of these implications?
I think it's too early in the season for him to be on. I don't think we'll sack him, even if we lose the next 3 games. I don't think we'll sack him because, like I said, I've talked about this before. A big thing, Todd Bowley, when he bought the Dodgers, they've had the same manager for 10 years. We put Graham Potter on a 7-year contract, Pochettino on a 2, and we've gone back to putting Maresca on a 5. They want Maresca long term, and they're not going to be putting a championship manager on a 5-year contract if they're going to have to pay him out after sacking him after a year and a half. So I personally don't believe his job is going to be under threat until the end of the season. If we're doing horrendously bad in that last third of the season, then okay. But I just don't think, to be honest, I feel the same about Amorim at United. I just feel like when people are bringing in these managers, they're going to give them this time to get through these things. I don't think a couple of losses at this point in the season is enough for him to be truly under pressure. I think it begs the question, if he has a season like this, do we sack him at the end of the season? 100%. I'll have that conversation. But as of right now, no. What was the other question as well? Sorry.
The dressing room. Is he losing the dressing room?
That one's probably a lot more possible, I would have thought, just because of the unusual substitutions and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Is none of these players are managers or whatever, but they all know what their best positions are and what their best qualities are, and what they can do. Garnacho, for instance, Garnacho must already be feeling a little bit like, why am I here? Do you know what I mean? Because it's he's got a few minutes here and there, but it's he's only been trusted in the Lincoln game so far. And also he's, ripping Jamie Gittins and Yoro Hato at halftime at Lincoln. Do you know what I mean? When I wouldn't have said that they stood out as being 2 players that were particularly making things go wrong. So yeah, potentially the dressing room might be an issue.
Let me take that on for you, Mo. Look, sadly, I think his job is nowhere near an issue. He's very safe in his job and his position. Like Matt's saying, they're going to stick to this project, nothing to do. And it doesn't make sense to even change him unless you change sort of how you do your business in the back end of the club either. So I think he knows that and he's safe. Now, the dangerous part is the locker room. And do you really think, I'll pose this question to you, do you really think that he really has it in the long term? Like, if you have the dreams of success that you really want as an elite footballer, being Caicedo or being Palmer, do you really feel in your bones that this is the guy that's going to take you there? And I think if there's any doubt, once there's a little cough like this game at United or a bad season, he can very easily lose them because they have to go on faith with him, right? I mean, he hasn't been there before. He hasn't done it. So I think that can happen to him quite easily, actually.
Kai, what's your thoughts? You've been quiet on this.
Got a question, right? I know we're talking about is he under pressure, but shouldn't any top manager that's at a top club be under pressure anyway? Because they're under pressure to win. They want to deliver silverware. They want to deliver trophies. They want to have a good season. There's always pressure. So if a manager can't cope with any bit of pressure, then are they really a manager for the top job? So I do think there is pressure, but not to the point where he's looking at the sack, because there should be pressure, because they should be setting expectations for him. What those expectations are, we can sit back and we can talk and give our opinions and whatever, but we're not in the boardroom. We're not sitting down there with the paperwork to see what, those actual expectations are. On the dressing room, if he's lost the dressing room, which I don't personally think he has, after 5 games with the same squad of players that he's managed to pull together and do what they did last season, then I would look a little bit more at the players rather than the manager, because you can't tell me that they've gone through that whole good start, terrible end, and then right at the end they pulled together, won the Conference League, won the Club World Cup, and then it gets 5 games into the season and now he's lost the dressing room. That doesn't make sense to me. We're going through a bad run of form. This happens. Every team goes through a bad run of form somewhere in the season. It always happens. Hopefully this is not going to last, but we're asking to predict the future. We're expecting this to last all season.
Talking about predicting the future. So right now we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Chelsea beat Brighton. Not convincingly, but we beat Brighton. We get a result. And then midweek, we get a result. We beat Benfica. Yeah? Is this conversation even going to be relevant midweek next week? Are we even going to be having this conversation? 2 wins.
I suppose it depends on the fan that you're asking. For me, it won't be over because it's paper-overing the cracks. There needs to be consistency. So 1 or 2 games is not enough. He needs to do it for a period of time.
Exactly. 1 or 2 games is not enough for us to form a positive opinion. But 1 or 2 games seem to be enough to form a negative opinion. So this is what I'm saying.
Again, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the fan. For me, I'm not at the point. I'm looking at the sporting directors and the club, and they could have done better, and they should have done better in the transfer window. Before it was shut,
I'm not talking about them. I'm just focusing on Maresca here. In regards to them, we spoke a lot about that on the last stream, and I think, they have not fulfilled the requirements for Maresca. They haven't done what they should have done. When Levi Colwill was injured, he wasn't injured after the transfer window. He was injured during the transfer window, so they could have addressed that issue. Some would say, but if they went ahead and bought another centre back, then when Levi Colwill is fit, what is going to happen then? Well, we even discussed that, and we don't have to sell the new centre back. We can sell one of the other centre backs who are currently in the team, who, by the way, it looks like these players are going to be on the way out. The likes of what's his name, Badashil, Disassi, we know he's going. There is a reshuffle in the heart of defence. We need to address that when we had the chance and we didn't. So I believe Maresca has not performed to the level that I wanted him to do so far. Yeah. I think some of his decision making, specifically when it came to the Manchester United game, was shambolic. And I think my perception of Maresca took a massive hit in that game. I mean, Ni knows this. When we first appointed Maresca, I was very critical. But the results and the performance of last season, he won me over. But then this season, that one game took a massive dent in my confidence from Maresca. I think Maresca being under pressure at the moment is a temporary situation. He has the power in his hands to change this, to make this all go away, if he is able to get a result against Brighton, against Benfica, and Benfica is a massive, massive game.
Yeah.
Okay, for many different reasons. If he's able to do that, I think the game against Liverpool, you know, a point would be very, very, acceptable.
Yeah.
Even I'm not gonna say defeat is acceptable, but I'm saying, we want to see the performance against Liverpool rather than the result. Because if you have two wins, you go into the Liverpool game, you give it 110%, and things don't go your way, and you end up drawing or losing, it's not the end of the world. But losing tomorrow against Brighton, a team that has only won one game so far in the Premier League, yes, it was against Man City, but a team that's only won one game in the Premier League so far, and the team that we have so much recent history with, it is going to have a really, really bad taste in our mouths if we don't get the result tomorrow. And this is the other aspect that I want to talk about. The game tomorrow, how much of an impact is that going to have on Maresca's future?
I don't think it's going to have much of an impact on his future. It's definitely going to have an impact on the media and the fan base, which then in turn could impact his future.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
But I feel like no matter how it goes over the next few games, I think like Maresca has got the season, unless he comes out and publicly like defaces the ownership or whatever. That's the only way that I see that he's going to get sacked.
Is that something that you think he would do?
No.
No?
I had. I
We're not going to see a Conte 2.0.
Nah, man, not from Maresca. I don't think he's not that kind of Italian.
No, I think if he was to do that, he would have done it in the transfer window. If he was so hell bent on getting what he wanted and didn't get it, we would have seen it there. That like that sly little digs. People say he's doing it now, but it's not to that level, like the Contes and stuff like that, to get yourself the sack. I feel no matter how it goes and whether people like that or not, I think he is going to get the season. So it's going to be up to him, and this is a perfect opportunity, because what I don't want to sort of get into the habit of, we've obviously lost a lot of players to injury now, right? So immediately, if something happens tomorrow, I don't want my manager coming out, I've lost this player, I've lost this way. You do what you need to do to get that win tomorrow with the tools that you have. Because I was looking at the 11 that potentially could go out. There is still enough there in the players that we have to get something out of Brighton, to get the result, to get the win. Because I don't want to be coming out with the draw. I definitely ain't coming out with a loss. We need to go in with something. And I don't want to get into this habit of now just making excuses every week because we've lost a player here, because other teams have lost players.
The thing is, their form's been shaky as well, man. It's not like we're going up against prime Liverpool. It is Brighton. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and what are they? That they conceded 6 goals in their first 2 games, and they've just come off the back of a reasonably well fought draw with Tottenham. And maybe that's, if form is to be considered. But yeah, I think it's a very, very beatable Brighton team. It's nowhere near the likes of even when Graham Potter or De Zerbi had them. Do you know what I mean? We're not really talking about that. So even with a weakened team, we should be expected to win this. But obviously, after the last few games, it's tough, isn't it?
I want to cry a little bit, guys. Like, just listen to what Chelsea fans we've become. It's like, maybe we can do it against Brighton and they don't spank us for the 3rd time in a row. And yeah, we'll probably lose against Liverpool, but that'll be okay. Like, really? That's who we are now?
Yeah.
And you know what? Sadly, that's kind of where we're at. But I think
that's the reality, unfortunately.
Yeah, but look, I mean, lesser teams get results against bigger teams in Liverpool, and that means because the coach manages to adapt the way of play. If you need to park the bus and hit them at the counter, which we have really fast players, if you need to put 5 in the back, if you need to test things, if you need to move around, that's what the coach is there to do, is to grab the crop of players that he has. If he's missing a center back, if he's 2 are injured, if you got to do something crazy and put somebody at right back, whatever it is you have to do, that's why they get paid and not we do. We're just here with the opinions, right? But that's what they're there to do. And I think we can't, like I was saying, like, how many times are we just going to give excuses and say, well, Palmer's injured, this and that. If we got to play ugly and get results, that's what we got to do.
And just to answer this from RC, no. The answer is no. The answer is no. Look, it is so bad. It is so disappointing that we are talking in this manner. And if you had told me I would be talking in this manner 4 or 5 years ago, I would have been not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. Chelsea are going to be challenging for the title every single season. Chelsea are going to be challenging for the Champions League every single season. The thing is this, what we saw happen in the Club World Cup kind of gave us that belief again. Gave us that, that injection of belief and energy. And, we did it. We beat Paris Saint-Germain and we did it so convincingly. Something has changed. Something has happened. And to be fair, that team would be able to mount a very strong challenge. But that team has been decimated. Delap is no longer available. Levi Colwell is no longer available. There is, Cole Palmer could be out for another 4 weeks. Who else? Who else do we have there? There's another one. There's another one. We have got a ton of injuries, and at the same time, we were expecting to see some proper moves in the transfer window. The whole Xavi Simons thing. I was just on a stream with a Spurs fan, and he said Xavi Simons could be the difference maker for them this season. They also got Mohamed Kudus. Garnacho, Gittins, for me, are not the level. And again, it is too early. I mean, Garnacho hasn't really had a proper induction into the team. Gittins has had a bit more time, but I think they're not filling me with a lot of confidence right now. And again, the lack of a striker. João Pedro is a fantastic player, but for me, he's not a striker. He's a false nine at best. Okay, but he is being utilized in that role, and he's the lad can finish. But we shouldn't be in this position. We shouldn't be thinking, why the hell did we not handle the whole Nicholas Jackson situation better? Because Nicholas Jackson in the squad right now would be a massive, massive bonus for us right now. But the way we handled it, this is the problem. In the press conference, they asked Enzo Maresca, with all the injuries that you have for your back line, would you be considering Disasi to come back into the squad? Would you be considering to have that conversation? And his answer was, that would be something that the club would have to inform me about. Or something, I'm paraphrasing, but something along those lines. The club having to inform him whether or not he can use a Chelsea player. Why are we in this position? Why have we put players so far away from the team that we have disconnected with them, both in regards to communication, in regards to they are our players by contract, but they're not our players by nature. Disasi, Sterling, these are players that we probably could turn to, but we're not going to because of the way we've handled the whole situation. Nico Jackson, the way we handled his situation was either go to Bayern Munich or I'm not playing. We would have had another Lukaku situation with Nicholas Jackson. I said Nicholas Jackson is Lukaku 2.0, and people were like, "No, that's not the case." It is the case. We asked for him to come back, and what did he say? He said, "No, I'm not coming back. I'm staying here."
Why do you think that is? Do you think that's because of the directors, or do you think that's because of Maresca?
Yes. No, it's the directors. It's the directors. And that was clear from Maresca's answer, because Maresca didn't say, "I don't want Disasi." He said, this is something the club have to inform me about, because the club have clearly informed him you can't play him.
So let me ask you a question then, Mo, on that one, because generally speaking, when a player is exiled from a squad, it is generally due to the manager not thinking he's a fit for the system, thinking of the play, whatever it is. So my question to you would be, what does the club gain from not allowing them to be part of the squad? What possible angle do they gain from it?
Good question.
They told him to look for internal option mans. Do you know what I mean? Like, but
Good question.
That's what I'm trying to get.
Why? Brilliant question, and I'm glad you've asked it, because the club is set up in a way where they are trying to benefit financially. Renato Vega staying at Chelsea would have been a brilliant outcome for us in
100%.
the position we're in today. But Renato Vega, his relationship with the club became uncomfortable. Now, some would say it was Maresca and Renato Vega who had a falling out. Some would say there was other reasons behind it. But you should not have that falling out with your team, with your players, unless they commit a crime, unless they do something to, put the club in a position where they are, questioned and investigated, and like the whole. What's his name? Adrian Mutu, when he went on his bender and did what he did. Things of that nature. I can understand pushing them away and sidelining them and doing what we were doing. But if I am pushing players away purely for the fact that I think I want to sell this guy in the next transfer window, and the only way I'm going to do that and get him to move is by making him feel uncomfortable. That's what they're doing.
With him not playing. And this is why I'm trying to get the angle. With him not playing, his value depreciates because he's not fit. He's not showing his levels. So why would clubs be interested? And this is what I'm trying to get the angle from the club, for them to not allow players to play. If they're telling Maresca, no, you cannot have these players, that's not for a financial gain, because they're having two assets. Sterling in particular, who's earning 300k, doing absolutely nothing. But they want to. This doesn't make sense.
You're spot on for the situation now. But this situation didn't happen now. This situation happened before the transfer window, leading up to the transfer window, and during the transfer window. Because they wanted to get these players out. And to be fair, they were all very close to moving. This has specifically. In regards to Sterling, his ambition to stay in London, and no matter how much Saudi were throwing money at him, no matter what conversations he had with Bayern Munich, he was adamant he doesn't want to leave London. So, and for Sterling, he is at a point in his career where if he doesn't play for a season or two, he doesn't really care. He'll retire in a couple of years, and he's got his money. He's had his career. He's played for every top club in England. So, is it going to have that much of an impact on him? On a player like Disasi, no, it will. On a player like Renato Vega, no, it will, because they still have a career that they are looking to pursue, and them not playing will push them out and will allow them to seek options elsewhere. For them to be in that position today, and this might be a question that Maresca is asking the board. Am I going to get access to Axel Disasi? Are you going to allow him to? Are you going to allow me to integrate him back in the team? And maybe that is why he answered the question the way he did, because he is trying to ask the board, please let me have access to this guy. I need this guy. He can play as a right back, which will allow me to maybe switch Malo Gusto to the left. If Hato isn't doing what I want him to do, I'll have more options if Disasi was back in the fold. And maybe that is him being,
But they did it with Chilwell.
I was just about to say that, man. They did it literally. They did it with Chilwell, literally. Yeah. So Chilwell was put in the bomb squad, and then when the transfer window ended and no one bought him, he got reintegrated into the squad, got like 20 minutes of one game, and then never played again. And that was Maresca's decision, man. So I honestly think that this Disasi thing, the thing with Nicholas Chalobah, I think this is all mostly coming from Maresca, because like Kai says, man, for me, the point is salient that it doesn't help the club sell the players if they're not getting any game time, because their value only depreciates. So I can't see the club being like, no, like I think it's more likely that this thing that Maresca has just said is like a smoking mirror, just to try and dodge and avoid the question, because he's been doing a little bit of that recently. He was dodging questions at the end of the Man United game. He was dodging questions in the press conference today when it was about, do you think Santos could play instead of Enzo Fernandez because Enzo Fernandez has played loads of games and Santos is ready? Completely dodged the question. I think we've seen a couple of times recently Maresca dodging questions. So if the question is Maresca causing these problems with Disasi, with Renato Vega, with Raheem Sterling, with Ben Chilwell, with all of these guys, or is it actually the club saying no, you can't use them? Like, I can't see the club from a financial basis. It doesn't benefit them at all. To not try and raise the value or even maintain the value of their players, man. So personally, I do think that a lot of this is down to Maresca, if I'm honest.
Let me add to that, Matt. Yeah, sorry, because the thing is not only that the issues with those players, and I think that's maybe where the locker room conversation comes into play. Because when you see, even they're not on the main team, but you see what's happening to Raheem Sterling, and if you think this has to do with Maresca as a coach and you're on the team, you start losing the other players because you're thinking that's going to be me tomorrow. Chilwell did nothing wrong. Maybe somebody's under that impression, right? Did nothing, and this guy's ego is like beating him down and kicked him out of the team over this X conversation or because he didn't follow this play. You can create a toxic thing if that's what it's about. If it is Maresca, then that could be pretty toxic if he doesn't have that shield to say, no, it's the guys upstairs that are forcing me to do this. So it's really interesting. We don't get to see exactly what that's about. But
Nee, you be quiet on this, mate. What's your thoughts?
Look, it is very difficult to say. Some have been professional, just like you said, Ben Chilwell. You guys have mentioned his name in this. He's taking things very cool. The club are helping move on to Strasbourg. Enzo Maresca was being asked if he can use Disasi. To me, just like remember we discussed this on my show previously, and I was like, I'm not so sure if he's still eligible to play. I'm not so sure. If he is, then there's a time that we need these defenders. Disasi is a leader. Disasi is a leader. Although he's struggling, I'm sure he can do a much better job because he has. Sometimes it reminds me of Azpilicueta. I'm not saying the same attribute, the way it defends, but he has that kind of like, I belong here. I want to fight for the badge. That kind of, it gives you that vibes sometimes. But we know defensively he's a little bit, not there. But if he's eligible, if you can use him, why not? If he asks, hey, what do you make? If he really wants to use him, he can. But I also have the feeling that, look, this is a guy that you don't trust. You did not trust, and you gave that the key to the to sporting directors or to the club to find him a different club. Sorry, I almost said a job. To find him a different club to play football, and he had the loan spell at Aston Villa, and he did good. So bringing him back, it could ask so many questions. He could be asking Enzo Maresca so many questions like, whoa, you don't believe in me. You send me away. Now you want me back. It could create problems. You get what I'm saying? It could create problems. It could go well for us. So to me, I would say, I mean, if it's eligible and Enzo Maresca wants to admit that, I made a mistake that I sent him out. And if you think that maybe at that time you feel like you have too many defenders, that's why you send him out. Now is the time to use him. You get what I'm saying? Now is the time to get the best out of.
Would you put Disasi in over a Josh Achampong?
To me, no. Achampong and Disasi. Achampong is doing, but he hasn't made a lot of mistakes since he's giving chance. If I look at the future, Achampong has more brighter future than Disasi.
You'd have him on the bench for the next 3 games, though, wouldn't you?
What was that?
You'd have him on the bench for the next 3 games. Disasi,
but Paddy Shields got back, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Is he fit though? Is he available?
No, I don't.
We've been saying that for like the last 3 games. Do you know what I mean?
Leg ready, and the other leg's still on its way back.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I don't know if Paddy Shields is even ready to. But I have a champ on there. If you think we still have enough to do the job, and he doesn't want to be okay. I was wrong on sending him away, and decides he can keep him back there. A champion can do a better job because he can learn and be better center back for Chelsea in the future.
Do you know what? I'm going to clip that, Kai. I'm going to put on TikTok. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on TikTok. I've got.
I mean, yeah, we keep hearing they've been
What?
training, they've been back
Wow,
training,
wow,
and still they're not ready to play.
Yeah, I
We
know.
are 39 minutes in. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna clip it. That you know what you hit the nail on the head here, man. You know, we are in a situation right now where we have so many injuries. We've lost track of when they're coming back. You know what? We've lost track of the injuries as well. You know, we don't know. Is this a serious injury? Is this not a serious injury? Is this something that is going to take a couple of weeks, a couple of months? I mean, even the Cole Palmer situation. You know, Cole Palmer, does he need surgery? Does he not need surgery? And Maresca was asked that question in the press conference. Does Cole Palmer need surgery? And what did he say? I don't think he needs surgery. You can't say I don't think he needs surgery. Who are you to say whether he needs surgery or not? You can say that surgery hasn't been recommended, or surgery has been recommended. We have decided to do this, but the way he's actually sorry, I'm hitting my mic here. The way he's actually answered the question is as if he examined him and he came to the conclusion that he doesn't need surgery. What?
Is that not like the Reece James thing though? Because before Reece James had surgery, he'd had spells in and out, and they really wanted to not give him surgery because a natural heel would have been better for him in the long run. So is it not something like that where we don't actually want Cole Palmer to have surgery? A, because he'll be out for ages, and B, because that might affect how he plays for the rest of his career, where if he can heal from this naturally, that would be the better option.
So I'm not an expert in regards to these type of injuries, but some injuries, if you have surgery to fix them, you will never recover 100%. You will always have, like the hamstring and others. This particular one, I don't think that is the case. But again, I am not an expert on this, so don't quote me on this. But for me, Cole Palmer
on TikTok.
Cole Palmer, playing through pain barriers and trying to fix this the natural way. Is it going to be more detrimental to the squad, to the team, to his career, or having surgery and trying to, because we have got a few games and then we've got 2 weeks for the international break. So we've got, the next month he's out anyway. Okay, so if he has surgery, how further along will that take him? Will that take him another month to recover? 2 months to recover?
Probably longer than that.
So it's a balancing act, but I think we do need to address it for the long term and not just look at this season, because Cole Palmer is a cornerstone of the team right now. So we need to look at it from that point. I just want to say this, lads. We have been streaming for nearly 43 minutes, and we are really disappointing when it comes to the likes on the stream. I mean, I've only asked for likes once right at the beginning, and it looks like you guys have forgotten to hit the like button because we're on 12 likes. Really? Come on, lads. What are you playing at? 12 likes?
Where's Courtney?
Come on.
Yeah. Where's Courtney?
Courtney.
Mod Courtney.
You know what? It's Courtney's fault, man. If he was here, it'd be different. It'd be different.
He's getting dock pay, mate.
Yeah. We are gonna put him up for a transfer in the in the winter window, man. But no. Big up to everyone in the chat, and please keep them comments coming in. We are reading them. We are incorporating them into the discussion. So please keep your comments coming in. Much love, much respect to all of you. I want to just digress a little bit in regards to the Maresca situation, and I want to look at the game tomorrow against Brighton. And before we do, guys, I apologize, but I am not able to put on the graphic where we have, the FIFA players and do the formation and whatnot. So I am gonna give my predicted lineup, and I'm gonna ask each one of my panelists to either agree, disagree, and what would they change. So I believe we are going to play the 4-2-1-3 formation again, and I believe we're going to have James on the right, Cucurella on the left, playing back against Brighton with the fantastically overrated Sanchez in goal. When I say overrated, he'll do a better job than Jorgensen. I'm not going to go into that bit, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And Achampong, and I will play Achampong with Chalobah in the heart of the defense. My two holding midfielders would be Caicedo and Santos. I would play Estevao William in the 10 with Pedro Neto on the right, and I would go for Garnacho on the left. Want to give him a start. Brighton, I think, is the one to do it for, and I'll play João Pedro up top. That is my lineup for the Brighton game. We'll start with Matt, and we'll work our way around. What would you change, if anything?
So your lineup is the lineup I want to see. 100% is the lineup I want to see, because I want to see attacking intent. Do you know what I mean? I want to see Garnacho and Estevao Willian. How have we not managed to get Estevao Willian a proper 90-minute shot? It's mad. 100% that's what I want to see, but I have a feeling we might go more conservative than that, just because of all the injuries and youth and this and that and the other games coming up and stuff. So, like I say, if it was me, I wouldn't change it. But what I think might happen instead is Reece James in midfield alongside Caicedo with Gusto at right back. And I've got a feeling that Enzo Fernandez might play the 10 again. So what we did at Man United is we put Estevao on the left and Pedro on the right, João Pedro up top. I think we might go into that tomorrow with something like that.
Don't you think that Enzo Fernandez has been overcooked?
100%. I absolutely don't think he should be getting on the pitch for Chelsea, but I think that's been the case for a while. I don't think this is like only right now. Me and Kai have talked about it before. I was talking about this back in the Club World Cup. Enzo Fernandez has a habit of being a passenger in games and can arrive late in the box every now and again or get a nice assist and stuff, but he's not contributing to the team very much. Kai did a wicked video. If any of you guys in the chat haven't seen it, go and watch Kai's video, The Enzo Problem. Brilliant video. I 100% agree, but based on Maresca's press conference, this is what I was talking about earlier, he was directly asked the question, so Enzo Fernandez has played like 60 out of the last 65 games. How about putting Santos and giving him a break? And Enzo Maresca just went, yeah, Enzo Fernandez is good. He can play as a 6. He can play as an attacking midfielder. 90% of the time he plays as an attacking midfielder, and then moved on. Do you know what I mean? So that, for me, the fact that he didn't engage with that question at all was what I find telling, and why I think in the absence of Palmer, why I think we'll see him in the centre attack, and I think Estevao will start on the left like he was supposed to in the Man United game. Also, because that's another experiment that Maresca didn't get to try, and now he's got another opportunity to do that.
All right, fantastic. Lewis, what do you think of my predicted lineup, and what would you change?
I think you have the right predicted lineup, and that's what I would like to see. I think those are the better players. I think that he sticks with Enzo Fernandez a lot, but given that we're playing Benfica on Tuesday, I wonder if he'll give him a rest. That could be the motivator to maybe put Santos in and do something like that. I don't like Estevao going on the left. And I know we don't say this, but we have a striker, right? And I mean, sometimes a striker doesn't have to be the best guy, but in function, he could be of use. And maybe João Pedro is better off as the 10, playing in behind a game that will be played in transition, that will be played in midfield. You may have to populate that a little better if you have a 9 that'll carry the line. And now you have that 10 where you can really shine in that space instead of trying to get him to lead the line. And if the game gets tricky, he tends to drop down to pick up the ball. He's going to run for longer. And I don't know if that's the best idea, but.
So you think Margu would be starting?
I don't know if I would have the cojones to make that call. I'm just saying it would be interesting to see, because it's sad that he hasn't gotten any minutes. This is the tragic part. We would have seen him in the last game if it weren't for the nonsense that we already saw, right? But if he would have a couple of minutes under his belt, he can do the job. He's a hardcore presser. He can carry a line. He can do that. enough to do the job to give the space to our guys. Because if you have Estebao behind him and Joe Pedro behind, we can do a lot of damage, and you have that physical running up and down the field that we're going to need in this game, I believe. But
All right, fantastic. All right, cool. Knee.
Oh, it's not that easy.
and are you guys taking into account Tuesday when you're thinking about the lineup
Yes.
and Benfica
Yes.
coming too?
Yeah. I think so, but I think in regards to the whole Benfica situation, Brighton right now takes the priority because
I
of
think
the.
Brighton's a harder game than Benfica.
I think it's more it's prioritized higher,
okay.
specifically on the back of the Manchester United result.
Yeah.
I think because of that, had we not had the shambolic performance against Manchester United, I would have given the priority to the Benfica game. But I think because of that, it's going to have more. It's going to hold more value. Nia, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
My little boy got me sidetracked a little bit, but yeah. I'll be going with the Matt Cucurella on the left-hand side. He returns to his spots. Then I'll give Achampon a chance. I'm not going to start him from the bench. I'm going to give him a chance. And I know he can do it. He did it with Mateta, who Crystal Palace has a very, very resilient attacking force. And with Eze even at that, with Crystal Palace at that time, he can still do a job for us. Going in for Chalobah in that right centre back position, then look at Gusto in that right side, trying to keep Reece James, not trying to overrun and get himself injured again. So our partner Reece James and Santos in that pivot role. Then I have Alejandro Garnacho on the left hand side for counter attacking purposes, and also he has a lot of pace in his game. From there, I'll try and start Estavio over what's his name again? The other Portuguese player,
Neto.
Pedro Neto. Yeah, I'll start Estavio on that right hand side over Pedro Neto. I'm having issues with his end product, just like we saw from Noni Madueke. Pedro has a little bit of assist, but to me, he's had a lot of Premier League experience, which he should be way far ahead of every winger in our team, and he's still not showing that sign to me. But I like his experience, but I wouldn't start him. I'll bring him from the bench if we need extra pace in the game. I'll put him on Estavio on the left hand side, and I will start João Pedro in to play behind McGee. I would like to play João Pedro behind. I want to get him in the game because I've seen a few of the games that we've played that he looks isolated. It looks like he's not in the game. Why? Because he's playing in an unfamiliar position that he's not really good at. I feel like he's better when he has more of the ball than him up there waiting for the ball to come to him to produce some magic. So with him down, he alongside, I was thinking maybe I could have either I don't know if Bonanete will be a better fit for that position,
Not
or
available.
maybe
Not available. Me. Not available. He's
who do I put in there?
Can't pay it against his parent club.
Yeah, that's true. I made a big mistake, so I don't know who did I put in that position. Who's available?
You said João Pedro, didn't you, for the
We're
time?
running out of players, mate.
I have Pedro, so I have a 4 in the back and 2 in front of the defense. Then I have Garnacho on the left. I have Pedro in the middle. I have Estavio on the right. 2 more, right? I have McGee playing as a striker. So I have one. Am I not
No,
missing
that's
one?
all of them, mate. Unless you want a 4-4-3.
Oh,
we
okay.
can do that.
So yeah, 4-2-3-1 exactly. So yeah, I got it right. Yeah, Pedro down. Then I'll play McGee up front.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think there is a case to be made for Gu. I think there's a case to be made for him. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, if we don't play him, there was a sense of bringing him here.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Apparently,
All right,
Tyrone George is so
very
much
soon,
better.
Delap will be back, and then there'll be no game time for him.
I think Delap is still some way away. I think he's still some way away. But again, we don't know. We don't really realistically know. We were told
like
8 weeks, but November.
It could be like November, wouldn't it? Until we see him.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen
Kai-
3 players. Mo, we've seen 3 players return 3 weeks ago and still haven't kicked a ball.
Yeah, and I love Matt's intro to his last video. It's like this guy's injured, and these two we don't really know.
Yeah,
we don't know.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I heard a little bit, knowing that we have like 400 players supposedly. Like, if you add up all the players that we have in our ecosystem, in the Blueco ecosystem, like it's pretty insane that we find ourselves in this circumstance.
Let's give Kai his chance. Kai, what's your thoughts on the formation?
Come on, Kai. Come on, Mr. Kai.
Just on that, it's mad. A couple of years ago, we were crying out about, they're going to have to make the locker room bigger because we can't fit. Now they're talking about making the medical room bigger because we've got too many injuries. Mental health gets changing, isn't it?
What a mess.
Line up. I think I'd go definitely. I think James is going to play right back in this one, mainly because Gusto played midweek. And with the defensive issues that we have, and this is where the pivot role comes in, I think he's going to keep it the same, as much as I don't want Enzo to be in that pivot role and I want Santos to get a chance. I think he's just going to go with Caicedo and Enzo. I don't think he'll play Reece James in there, mainly because with all the injuries going on, if Josh Achampong is now going to become that centre-back, if either James or Gusto gets injured, we're down to one right-back. So is he going to risk playing both of them in the game with the injury record that James has and things like that? So I think he may not go with that. I think what we'll see is more of an alternate for the moment of Reece James and Gusto just coming in and out for each other. But I do get the case of him going in midfield, because what it will do in this current moment is maybe add a little bit more defensive cover, which we're probably going to need. I mean, we need it anyway, but going in with 2 centre-backs that have only... Did Trevor Chalobah and Achampong play the Crystal Palace game together? It was them two, wasn't it? It was that first game.
Yeah, because Tyson was injured, wasn't he?
So they've only played one game so far this season together, which in terms of chemistry and stuff is not great. But I think in the 10, I think it will be Esteval. And I think it will be Garnacho on the left, even though based on performance, Gittins had a better game against Lincoln, so he should get the start. I don't think he will, because I think this will be a better opportunity for Garnacho to get in behind the defenders. João Pedro up front with Pedro Neto on the right-hand side. I think that's what Maresca would likely go with in this one. Because I also think with the Benfica game, another factor is we're playing at home, so we're not having to travel. So I think there's a good chance that players that play in this game might even start again against Benfica. But I also think Andre Santos might get the start against Benfica. I think it would be a better game for him than the Brighton one. But yeah, I mean, on the Enzo thing, he needs time out of the squad. He needs a rest. He needs a break. Just to come out of the limelight, for him to get, if we can rest him, I'd even rest him for the next 2 games and maybe bring him out. Just use him as an impact sub for the moment.
I would definitely consider resting him, and I think he should be rested against Brighton, purely for the fact that I really want to see him play against Benfica.
Yeah,
I want him to be in that game. There's politics involved in that one, so having him in that game would be fantastic. Guys, I have put in the chat the link to Football Fans and Beyond, which is Lewis's channel. Please go and show some love to the channel. Like I said before, subscribe, watch a couple of his videos. If they're rubbish, unsubscribe. If they're good, stick around. You know what I mean? What are you going to lose? What are you going to lose? Just go check out the channel. He does a lot of live streams as well as pre-recorded videos. So there's a lot of different types of content on there. Let's support the community. All right. The club is giving us a bit of stress. As fans, let's de-stress by listening to different content creators, getting different perspectives, different points of view. It will only help you with your mental health, trust me. Okay. Yeah. Do you know what? We need to get hold of Jan from football therapy because we need some football therapy right now. We need some therapy. We need some therapy. So guys, we are coming to the end of the stream. Don't sign off just yet. Don't go anywhere yet. We haven't done our predictions yet, but we are going to do the predictions, and then we are going to do the predictions and conclude. That being said, we are live again on Sunday. The main show is on Sunday, so make sure you guys have that bell notification button turned on for this Sunday. And next Sunday, there is going to be a little bit of a surprise, work in progress, but there's going to be a little bit of a shuffle, if you know what I mean. So make sure you're here on Sunday to understand what is going to happen. But before we conclude, I'm going to do match predictions. I'll leave mine to the end. As we finished with Kai, we're going to start with Kai this time. So, Kai, what is your match prediction for Brighton, Chelsea tomorrow? Oh, Chelsea, Brighton tomorrow, playing at home.
Look, I feel deep down that we are going to get the win. I don't think it's going to be pretty. I do think Brighton are definitely going to score as well. And to be honest, I'm probably going to say that for most games going forward until the foreseeable future. So I'm going to go with a 2-1. But I think they're going to score first, which is going to cause a lot of panic.
All right, interesting. Okay, so who do you think... I'm going to ask for more details. Who do you think is scoring for Chelsea tomorrow?
I think Esteval's going to score his first goal. And I think João Pedro's going to score. I think he's going to finally get back into shape again. Score against Brighton. Best way to do it.
Fair enough. Nee?
Yeah.
Score prediction, and who do you think... If you think we're going to score, who do you think is going to score?
I think it's going to be 3-1 Chelsea.
Wow, okay.
One own goal. Chelsea.
One own goal.
Yeah.
Chalobah?
On goal.
All right.
Hope that happens. On goal and
I'm going to cut you off, Nee. So you guys know, Nee has been quite accurate with his predictions recently. So pay attention. Pay attention. Go ahead, Nee. Go ahead.
Well, if you're doing paperwork, what I mean by paperwork, if you're doing those betting thing, I call it paperwork. Hey, take a note.
We don't condone betting. Okay, so on this channel,
on this
as a man of faith, I do not condone betting. I do not agree with betting. Watch football because you love the sport, not because you're trying to make money. Go ahead, Nee.
Yeah, apologize again. Okay, I went 3-1. Reece James, wicked free kick goal from Reece James. Estavio, just like my brother said, Kyle said, a goal from him. Estavio getting his first goal. Then João Pedro scoring against his ex-team. Yeah, former team. Yeah, but I want him to celebrate that goal for me. I want him to celebrate. No, don't put your hands up like that. That pain, I don't like it.
We can't always get what we want, but I would love to see that happen. I'd love to see that happen. Lewis, score prediction and
I think it's not going to be great for us. We're going to draw 1-1 unless Esteval plays on the right. And then I'll switch to a 2-1. But I'm going to go with 1-1 because I don't think that's going to happen. And it's going to be a defender. It's either going to be Reece James or Chalobah again, scoring a goal for representing.
Corner. Yeah. Fair enough. So we've got a draw. Are we going to get a defeat? Matt, what are you saying?
Matt's face is looking like it.
No, man. I got faith. I think it's going to be 1-0, and I think Cucurella is going to score.
1-0. Cucurella. Right.
I think Cucurella is going to bail us out. I think it's going to be a sticky, stodgy, difficult game. And I think Cucurella is going to bail us out with a jumping header like he does. He hasn't got off the mark yet, man, for us. He scored 7 goals last season, so it's about time now, isn't it?
All right. Fair enough. Guys in the chat, let me get your predictions in. I want to see predictions from everyone, specifically Bobby's got one in there. 2-0 win to Chelsea. Jackie, RC, Gabriel, Daniel Knight, all the guys who have been chatting away. Let me see your predictions in the chat. Omar, I missed anyone. Everyone, just put your predictions in. I'd love to see them. My predictions is I believe that Chelsea will win. I'm hoping for a clean sheet, but I'm not expecting one. So I think it will be an on goal, specifically this way. So I think Chalobah will try to header it out, but he headers it towards Sanchez, who flies across and tries to catch it, fumbles it, and it goes in the back of the net. Is that too much detail?
Listen,
No.
Sanchez has spent his bozo moment for the month. He's not allowed another one.
No. He's not allowed, but he might just claim another one. Well, no. I think we will concede. I'm not comfortable with our defense, but I think we will win, and I think it will be a 2-1. 2-1 is my expectation. Anything more in regards to goals would be fantastic, but I think it'd be a close game. 2-1 is my prediction, and I think it will be a brace from João Pedro. He won't celebrate the first time, but then he'll celebrate for the second goal just to keep us happy.
Love the detail.
Does it mean we're going to end up seeing 13 players that have connection with Brighton on the pitch?
Yeah.
Wait, more than that.
14, right?
14, yeah.
14,
15.
Don't forget the directors and the
Sanchez,
staff
Cucurella,
as well.
Moises Caicedo, João Pedro, 4 players in our team are ex-Brighton players.
That's the one play. Is it? I don't think he's going to play, right? Or maybe more.
I think Caicedo will play because he didn't play the link. He didn't even get a minute in the Lincoln game, did he?
No.
So I think he was
Cucurella came on in midfield at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And this is why I think
at the start of the season, by the way.
Caicedo and Andres Santos for me is the way to go, especially if you want to give Fernandez that rest ahead of the Benfica game. That's my thinking. But yeah, lads. Listen.
Hope you're right.
Logically, that's what we do, but we've also seen Maresca not be so logical recently. But yeah, I mean, Maresca might start with every single defender in the squad and play like 6 at the back or 7 at the back. I don't know what he's going to do. But yeah,
oh mate, I hate it. Tyreek George.
Do you know what? Tyreek George is a funny one because
I feel sorry for him, man.
I do.
And he's bailed us out again.
But Tyreek George is a play. So you see, this is going back to, is Maresca making these choices because Tyreek George is a player that we wanted to sell. We wanted to sell, actively looking to sell. Mm-hmm. So Maresca doesn't want him, right? Because we want to sell him. But then Maresca picks him ahead of players we spent 100 million on. Okay, 95 million to be specific, to be precise. We spent 95 million on Gittins and Garnacho, and yet he picks the player we were looking to sell to jump in. And
the only thing with that one, though, Mo, is that George has played an entire season under Maresca and under his system, where you've got 2 brand new players who have just walked through the door that don't know nothing yet. That it's always going to be like that in terms of, because it's not like there's a massive age difference either.
But Mark Hughes played.
I understand
Mark Hughes
that.
played loads for Maresca last season, so that doesn't make any sense.
He was at Sunderland. I'm talking about like he's only come back, but in terms of like the players, I think Gu is behind George in terms of the striker position, which is crazy to say.
That is crazy.
But I think based on what we've seen, and the Lincoln game has only probably cemented it even more because he's come up with the all-important goal and the all-important assist, that now Gu is probably even further back.
Maresca literally said in the press conference today, man, he was like, yeah, Tyreek George is a winger, but we ask him to play like a striker sometimes. It's like, you're literally like, imagine you're Mark Gu and you can pull back from your Sunderland loan. And
Yeah.
in the press conference, Maresca is saying, yeah,
Right.
Tyreek George is a winger, but we'll play him up top sometimes. Goose just sat there like, what am I, chopped liver? Do you know what I mean, mate? Outrageous.
All right. Before we conclude the stream, I want to tell the people who are still watching in the chat something. I've been streaming on this channel for nearly 5 years, and I've had streams that have had in the tens of thousands of views. But the last stream that we did actually smashed a record that I did not believe we would achieve on this channel. If you look at the view count is minimal. I think a couple of hundred views. However, those couple of hundred views averaged over 20 minutes of watch time each.
Wow.
So every single one, so those 200 odd viewers on average watched 20 odd minutes of the stream yesterday, which is a record for this channel. The highest I think we've had before was 16 or 15 and a half minutes. And that was an anomaly. On average, it's 7-8 minutes per view in regards to watch time. So you guys, the ones who are here right now, you are the OGs of this channel because you are the ones that have supported this channel, and the watch time number. I was shocked, when I saw it. But I haven't even told the panelists yet. I wanted to tell you guys at the end of the stream because you are the guys who have been supporting. So thank you all for all the love and support you guys have shown the Blue Lounge. We are going to rely on you to keep on with your comments, with your likes. And please, please, please support my panelists because the YouTube algorithm is a funny one. And if you don't watch the content, you can watch the whole video. If you haven't put a comment in or hit the like button, it doesn't really show that you've actually engaged with it. So for YouTube to know that you've engaged with it, please hit the like button. Even the dislike button. If you don't like it, dislike it. I don't care. Hit the dislike button. Interact with the content. If you like it, hit the like button. If you think Matt's content is fantastic, but today this video has been shit, dislike it and tell him. Roast him in the comments, as he says. Roast him in his comments and tell him, Matt, this video was poor, mate. I didn't like it. Don't do it. Don't do it again. Just tell him.
He said,
listen.
Yeah, he said it himself. You can roast him in the comments.
Roast
Yeah,
him in the
It's
comments.
not good enough.
Whatever
Roast-
gets you
if
through
don't
your day,
like
man.
show,
Whatever gets you through your day.
yeah,
Whatever
whatever
gets you
gets
through your
you through your
day.
day, it
Whatever
makes
gets
you
you
happy.
through
It
your day.
means that whatever makes you happy on
Yeah, mate.
whatever you're typing, type your
And-
peace of mind to him. Let him know.
And lads, do yourself a favor by subscribing to Football Fans and Beyond. All right, check out that content. I'm going to try to get Lewis to become a regular on the panel here. We don't stream that often. He streams. He probably streams more than me. So make sure you're locked into his channel as well. And let's beat this YouTube algorithm.
I
We
appreciate
beat the YouTube algorithm, and Chelsea will win the Premier League. Yeah, trust me. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's
Yes,
do it.
mate. Yeah, love that. Love that.
So guys, we're back again on Sunday. There won't be a stream tomorrow, but you'll get content from all of these content creators after the game. I might make a video depending on the result. I don't like to rant, so if we don't get the win, you probably won't hear from me until Sunday night. But if we do get a win, I'll be making a video. All right, people, thank you all for watching. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy your weekend, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care. Stay safe.